beautiful people. So today we are going to show you how I make my color polygel. It is so easy, but first I have a video on all the pigments that I have bought. I only use pure pigments. I don't use eyeshadow. I don't use anything else but pure pigments, because if you use eyeshadows and use anything else that has oils in it, you could change the adhesion of the polygel or anything that you're trying to do. And this one I was trying to squeeze from the top all the way to the bottom, but as you could tell, I don't have the arm power, the hand power, because I have carpal tunnel. So I did cut the top and I just squeezed, you know, the bright white. This polygel, it is from the Azure. I do not like keeping them in the tubes because for some reason they freeze in the tubes. So for me, what I do was I put this whole polygel tube in hot water, almost not where it's boiling, but hot, so the polygel can be easier for me to take off. I also twist the jar and I place the polygel in all the empty spots, and I just keep going around until all of it is covered. And the reason why I do this is because when it settles, you don't want no air pockets, you know, on top of the pigment, because then you get a lot of bubbles. So I'm just going ahead and doing this, and this has a lot in it. Well, at least I thought it said it's one. Well, I'm not sure if it's 1 ounce or anything, but there's a lot in here. But as you could tell, it is hard to work with because now it completely dried and now you can't like mix it. So what I do, I put this with a bowl of hot water and I let it sit there for like 5 minutes. If you want to put it in a microwave, put it for 3 seconds, but I put it into a hot bottle, like it's like a bowl of hot water, and I don't let it to where it like floats. So if your like jar is floating, you have too much water. You just want to put enough to where it doesn't float and it's just heating up the polygel. And then while the polygel is heated up, then you could go ahead and you can mix your pigments until you can't anymore. Now I did this like probably like 2 minutes of me mixing it, and I did use a dotting tool so I could get all the pigments from the corners and so I could get that color evenly. So it's like really easy, it's not hard to do. And I also bang it, like I tap it so all the product could go on the bottom and you don't have any holes, because once this dries, it's going to dry like a regular polygel. It's going to go back to its original form. So you don't want to put it in the microwave for too long or leave it in the hot water for too long. I also do this when my polygel is frozen, and lately it's been really cold. So lately what I've had to do is put it in hot water first and before I use it. It doesn't change anything, you know, it's still sticky, it still works. But this is just what I do to make my own colors. Okay, so this is the first little sample that I had made. I did not wait until the polygel was completely hard, like firm at its own form. I still picked up while it was a little bit stringy. It was really creamy. So I do recommend you guys at least let it sit for 30 minutes until the polygel, you know, does, you know, go into original form. This is what the bottle looks like, the little jar looks like when everything is empty. It is so weird. But yes, this is what it looks like when it's been sitting on for like about 15 minutes. Yes, I don't recommend you put it in a freezer because I've never done it in a freezer. But if you want to do it in a freezer just to speed up process, let me know how that works. But make sure that the whole jar has no pockets in it, because you don't want it to like dry in the jar and have like a whole pocket in there, because that's, you know, your jar is going to look kind of ugly. So I did use this on a dual form. It was not ready to be used, but it still worked. So I do recommend for you to wait until it's dry enough, like it's an original form, for you to actually pick up the polygel, because then it won't be stringy. It'll be an actual polygel. And also, if you wait, you know, if you don't wait for the whole time while it's, you know, settled, then when you pick up, it's just going to create little tiny little air holes because it's too hot. So make sure it's not hot, and make sure that you do this in a very thin layer, because you use white polygel. It's actually hard to cure, so try this by a thin layer to cure it first, and make sure all the bubbles are off. And I am using my Macart brush, my Macart purpose tool, and then I'm using just plain alcohol to do this, nothing fancy. If you use too much alcohol and you experience the polygel breaking down, before you cure it in the lamp, wipe down the polygel that's in the dual form and remove all the alcohol in it. Now when you mush down, if it moves, like if it's mushy, it's not cured yet. So if it doesn't move and it's hard to like move, just pop it off, then it's cured yet. That's how you know that it's cured yet, because these have to be cured for the whole entire minute because it's such a solid color. So you see, it does not change adhesion to the polygel. It still works. It went back to its original form. It's beautiful color. You could do this with any color that you want. I did this with white. This is what it looks like with clear. I did it with white because white brings out the color more, and I feel like white did better than the clear, as you can see. You could definitely tell the difference with using the clear and the white. So I always, when I do my colors, I always use white, or if I don't have enough white, I just mix the white polygel with the clear together, and there it is. I also made this with a gel-like one. This one is a natural pink that I made. And so you could use this with any polygel, same thing that I've done. If you want to use glitter, I don't think you should put it in a microwave, because I don't know if, you know, the glitter will make the microwave act differently. This one is from, I forgot what polygel this was from. Model Ones, that's what it is. So you could definitely use this. This is when it's actual like settled and it's not moving anywhere. It is so pretty. I love it. So you could do this with anything that you have, but just make sure that it's pure pigment so you don't change the adhesion to the polygel. So if you like this video, give me a thumbs up, and I hope you guys have a wonderful day. I love you guys, and I'll see you next time.
Thanks for watching. See you next time.